Welcome back, YouTube. Welcome to another JLS POV review. My name is Jonathan, and today we have a 2017 Infiniti QX80. This is a 3-row family car, SUV. It has a 5.6 liter V8. It makes 400 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. It is a naturally aspirated V8. As you guys know, Infiniti is the luxury brand of Nissan, so that's what you would expect from this car. Luxury. This car is currently owned by well, not currently, it's always been owned by a family member of mine since 2017 when they first bought it. So today we're gonna be going around the car, showing you guys some of its features. So strap in, because this is gonna be a long video given the fact that it is such a big vehicle. But with that said, let's get straight into this review. Moving on to the engine compartment, we have this ginormous 5.6 liter V8 that's powering the 7,000 pound vehicle. It's a great powertrain, really smooth. You get into it, you roll into the power, and it's really smooth the way it delivers its power. Nissan is known for making really good engines. I really like and enjoy Nissan engines. Transmission is not so much, they do give issues here and there, but as you can see, the whole engine bay looks brand new, and this car has 100,000 miles. So this is just accidentally got broken off, but that's just on the engine cover. Other than that, this, as you guys can see, is brand new. It looks brand spanking new in here. And this ginormous airbox, to feed air into this ginormous engine. So other than that, there isn't really anything special in here besides it's just the giant engine. It is naturally aspirated. Like I said earlier, it's pushing out 400 horsepower to the crank and 400 pound-feet of torque all to the crank. So that's pretty much it. Nothing really interesting or special down here besides the giant engine. So moving to the back, we have three ways to get into this car, to the back of this car. In the front, you can press a button under the steering wheel. You can press the button down here, which opens up the trunk, and you can also use the button on the key fob. For this purpose, I'm going to use the button on the key fob. It's going to lift up slowly but surely. And then here we have the trunk space. You get enough trunk space as it is. You get a 12-volt socket right here to connect your phones. You can connect the multi-outlet or USB connector, and then everybody down here in the third row can power their cell phones or devices and stuff. You do not get any charging devices up here, like any charging ports. You do get one right back here, however, which is within reach. So you also get two strap hooks. You get 4 actually, 2 and 2, but you get 4 strap hooks to hold down your load or something, or whatever you want to carry back here. The back seats are electronic. They recline all the way back. They recline all the way forward as well, to give you as much space as possible, which is a really cool feature to have in this big SUV. Because it's a good feature to have. You're not necessarily going to be using the third row all that often, so you just fold it forward. You get a lot more space back here, and the middle row also folds forward. You guys can see the latch right there, also folds forward, giving you even more space. So it actually becomes a utility vehicle if you actually need it. You get a lot of cup holders back here. You get 4 cup holders for the rear row. You get 4 for the middle row, and then you get 4 for the front. So you get 12 cup holders in total. You also have your same switches, the same recline switches on the front, right in front of the cup holder, which is just nice. So you don't have to be, if you're a passenger in the third row, you don't have to be twisting around and then touching these buttons. You got your own individual buttons up there. But other than that, that's pretty much it for the back. Just a lot of room, given the fact that it's a 3-row seat, obviously. But other than that, nothing really special. Just a lot of room back there. Now, I don't suspect a lot of people are going to be using the 3rd row seat, unless for like a family night or something like that. But other than that, I don't really suspect a lot of people are using it. They just mainly use it for storage. So with that said, let's get straight into the back. And we're gonna start with the third row. Excuse me guys, I'm a little too big for this. So, okay, back here. Watch out with my feet. Back here, the seat latches in place. My knees are a little pressed up against the back of the seat. I can't recline the seat back. You see, once I recline the seat all the way back, I do have a little bit of room. You know, my knees are not necessarily touching all that much. They still rub, but they don't touch. I have enough headroom up here. Once again, I'm 6'1", 225-ish pounds. So I'm a big human being, like I've always said. And I have enough headroom, enough knee room. I wouldn't want to spend a lot of time back here because my feet do feel kind of cramped. But other than that, you can take not seven, you can take 6 adults, maybe fit a child in the middle. But you know, I have enough room to the side. There's enough room here for a child, a small child, and there's enough room down here for another adult passenger. You also get hooks in the inside, both sides. You get extra additional hooks, so it's good. You get child anchor seats, which is all good. You get the headrest on these back seats, which do go up and down. It has a lot of features. It's really nice and really comfortable. We're gonna go and move into the middle row. It's complicated getting out. Okay, so that was the whole thing, trying to get out of the last row. That's gonna be the real complicated part about an adult getting back there. But moving into the middle row now, we made it through that whole story. Now we're gonna make it into the middle row. The middle row you get is the only row that's mechanical. The only electronic feature about this is that you get buttons in the front that you can just toggle them, and then the seat automatically, you know, folds all the way forward. But other than that, it's just mechanical. But you do get to recline back and forth, and so if you would like. So getting back here, let me close the door. Getting back here, once you're back here, is actually not that bad. You get once again a lot of room, even more room than the third row. Obviously, you get, this vehicle is fully equipped with every single option when it was brand new. So this vehicle literally comes with everything. So you get the screens back here for a child, or you know, just even a passenger that just wants to watch stuff. These screens can be on. It has a CD reader. You can have them on while the car is moving. The ones that you cannot have on is that one up there, the infotainment system. Other than that, these screens can be on while the car is moving. You get your own, you get 3 zone climate controls in this car. You get dual in the front and you get 1 down here. So this rear seats come with heated seats, right? The whole bench seat, even the middle seat. You toggle the one on the left and you get the bench seat, and the one to the left, and the one on the right, you only get the one on the right. But you do get heated seats back here, which is actually pretty nice. You get a third climate control, which controls the second row and third row climate vents. So it's pretty nice to have back here. You get little pockets on the back of both seats, which also it's a really nice feature to have. And all of the windows in this car are automatic, so you only get automatic windows in this car, which is another great feature to have, because you don't want your passengers, you know, just holding down the button. That gets annoying. So it's really nice to have all of this. But other than that, there isn't much else in the back of this car besides a lot of room. You know, it's fairly comfortable. These seats are super comfortable, super plush. The leather is really nice, and this leather has kept up really well. You know, a little dirty, but has kept up really well. Like I said, the owners of this car really take care of this. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the front, because that's it for the back of the car. Let's just get to the business, the front of the car. So in here you get your standard, you know, everything you get in your average car. You have this nice tone finish. You have leather everywhere. You have a heated steering wheel, activated with this button right here, and you have a heated seat on both seats, both front seats. You do not get cool seats, unfortunately, in this car, which is kind of a bummer considering the price range. The price for this car, at least this one, fully loaded and everything, was like $92,000. So it's a bummer, but you do get your set seat controls here, which it's nice to have. You get your child window lock, Like I said, all the windows in this car automatic. You get these nice chrome finishes all around the car, which give it a nice you know, nice look and feel. You have leather everywhere in this car, and the interior in this car feels well put together. The only part that does suck a little is the kind of fake wood finish, which, as you can hear, it does crack. You know, it does have its creaks and stuff. Other than that, nothing else. You don't feel creaks and cracks anywhere else. Just that part. Everything feels solid in here. For the most part, feels really well put together. I don't like all these cheap plastic, honestly. Infiniti could have done a lot better, given the fact this is 2017. This whole thing is so outdated. This is from like 2010, 2013. So, but other than that, you know, you get a lot of storage in here. You get 2 cup holders, 2 on the doors, and that's it. So let's get it started. Oh, that V8 sound. Everybody loves a V8 sound. But that's it. That's it for all the features in here. You get this. You get this really nice clock. But other than that, I mean, not much in here besides. It's all really outdated. You get a nice cruise control system. You get adaptive cruise control in this car. You get a bunch of controls and buttons here in the steering wheel. But other than that, I mean, not much else. It's just pretty standard. You know, the screen is really old. And the screen is really old. The touch is not very responsive. You know, it's just old. The whole system is old. There's not much else to say about it. Okay, moving into the driving portion of this review, which is what we're going to get into. This is going to be, honestly, the most boring part, and I will explain why it's the most boring part in just a second once we get it driving. I've been driving this car, and I've been, you know, this car is part of an immediate family of mine. This car belongs to an immediate family member of mine. I see them pretty often, so I get to drive this car often. That's why I had the chance to kind of drive it today. This car is fun. I'm gonna explain why it's fun. I'm gonna let it warm up a little bit because I don't want to push the shit out the gap. It's 7,000 pounds, this car. Yes, it's 7,000 pounds. It's a heavy car. It's like 6,500. I'll give you guys the exact number in the description down below or once I upload the video. But overall, this car is extremely heavy. I mean, no surprise. 3-row SUV, giant V8. You know, it's a heavy car. But the big V8 moves this car so well. 0 to 60 in this car, I've averaged like 6.5 seconds, almost 7 seconds. That is quick considering how much this car weighs. Those 400 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque will move this thing. They move this thing. My apologies, my camera just had a little bit of a bug right there, but we're back. I don't really know where I left off, but I know I was talking about the whole engine and it's great. It's a great powertrain. I love Nissan engines. I've always loved them. The one problem I do have with Nissan is, you know, what everybody else seems to have, which is the transmission. They suck for the most part. But engines, Nissan knows how to build a good engine, and there's no exception with this car. I hate this interception right here. That's why they're putting lights on, because it sucks. So many accidents. But you know, I love Nissan engines. What can I say? And they move. Now this car has had a little bit of time to warm up, so we're gonna punch it once we get once it's safe. Once we get a little bit of a gap. And the speed limit is 35 here. It's gonna go up in a little bit, so I'm just gonna wait for the speed limit to go up around. It gets up to like 50, so that's what I'm gonna wait on. But overall, great car. I mean. And in here, I said this was gonna be the boring and fun part, because I'm gonna tell you why it's fun. I'm gonna lower the speed a little and wait for the speed limit to change. I'm pretty sure this is the last sign to when it changes up to 50, so I can punch it, because it's fun. This car is fun. You see, I'm gonna let it drop down to like 20, punch all the way up to 50. This is why it's fun. See, you're at 20, you step on it, punch it. Throws you back in the seat. I'm telling you, it just throws you back in the seat. And look at that, 55 miles an hour like this. This car is fun. Those 400 horsepower will move this car. That's what I'm saying. It's fun stepping on it and punching it. Other than that, it's a luxury vehicle, and it really just feels like a luxury vehicle. So there isn't much in here. There isn't much fun to be had. I mean, the bumps, you can feel them. Like, it's just so smooth. It's so smooth over the bumps. You don't necessarily feel much. it's quiet. I mean, I'm at a loss of words because it's just not much to. This is where this review kind of dies. There isn't much like fun to be had in this car. It is what it is. It's just a car to get you to where you want to go and come back as like a family. But it's just fun, man. It's fun stepping on it, but it's quiet. It's luxurious. I wouldn't say luxurious. The stuff in here could have been better given the price range, but the ride is luxurious. I mean, you don't hear nothing. You don't feel nothing. Like, it just rides over the bumps really smoothly, and it's just a joy to get in this car. I mean, I'm telling you, you have all the room you have on the third row seat, the second row, up here up front, all the practicality, all the stuff. It is just really, really fun. I've gone on a trip to this car to Miami, Florida, and let me tell you, it is the most comfortable I've ever been in a trip over 500 miles. And from here to Houston, Texas, where I live, to Miami, Florida, is around 1,200 miles to the place we go. Around 1,200 miles, give or take, 1,200, 1,300 miles, given to where we go. And it's been comfortable. I mean, I haven't really felt it when I went. I went with me and my stepdad. I haven't really felt it. It literally felt smooth the whole time. So this car is that's just what it is. It's just really fun, man. It's really quiet. It's really nice. It's fun and nice to have. It feels big and boldy when you go over like a little corner. That's why I'm just mainly on a straight road, because I don't want to take this in a corner. This is not a Urus. This is not one of those big SUVs that you can take into a corner. It's not gonna do it very nice. But it's not meant to do that. It's just, you know, it's like comparing a Rolls Royce to a McLaren, right? You would expect the McLaren to destroy a track, but around the city to be terrible. Now you would expect the Rolls Royce to be great around the city, but to suck in the track. Same thing with this. I don't know how much better a Rolls Royce gets than this, and you know, the Rolls Royce is supposed to be like top of the top, or Bentley. But let me tell you, man, if you ever get a chance to sit in one of these, it really feels luxurious. I'm not saying it's gonna be anywhere on the part of Bentley and Rolls Royce. Only reason I mentioned those two brands is because this is already so smooth and nice. How much better can it get, right? In my head, I'm like, how much better can it get? I know it gets better, but like, does it really get much better? Because this, as it is, it's just a great experience. It's just a great experience for what it is. I think Nissan did a great job with this car. It really did. I mean, what it was meant to do, it did it like this. I don't agree with the price tag and all the cheap plastic and all the, you know, the creaks and stuff on the fake wood. But it's just fun. I've been inside one of those, an Escalade. I've been inside an Escalade, and let me tell you, this car, it's a little smoother than the Escalade, the way it goes around, at least for me. I don't know if it was maybe the way the Escalade was being driven. It was being driven a little bit rough, but at least for me, man, it's just, this car is just, it's just great. So if you're looking into getting this car, you know, something like this, given the fact that these cars have gone down in price a lot, this is a clean title, never had any accidents, never had any issues. The only thing this car has had in its entire life is that check engine light. Literally just turned it on like 3-4 days ago because an O2 sensor went bad, which needs to be replaced. Other than that, never ever has given an issue with this car. So if you're really looking, if you have the money and you're considering that these cars, if you're looking for a clean title, you're looking anywhere between $30,000 to $40,000 depending on the mileage. Really go drive it, get into it, feel it, because if it's really what you're looking for, just a straight up calm, relaxed, just experience and the drive, just this car is gonna do it for you. Especially if you're looking for a nice calm car for you to take your family around, go on trips. This car is gonna do that perfectly fine. Just to keep up with it, because Nissan, it's not like the Toyota, it's not like my little Toyota, when I know you can kind of skip over some of the maintenance it needs and it will still last you forever. Not really the case with this car, but it all depends on what type of vehicle you're looking for. But if you're a person, if you're somebody that has a 3-row SUV in mind and you've been scouting some 3-row SUVs for a while, I strongly recommend this one, sincerely, because it has, when it was brand new, it was kind of a steal. And I don't mean like it was a good bargain. It was a steal, like it was Nissan basically stealing or robbing people, because $90,000 is just way too much for a car that has such an outdated interior and has such a outdated system. But it does do the luxury side of things very well. So that right there is always gonna be a plus, and I strongly recommend anybody that's getting into any like 3-row SUVs, I strongly recommend you guys check out this car, because it's a wonder. It really is a wonder. So that's just my honest advice and my honest opinion. Strongly recommend this car. So, overview: should you consider this car? If you're a person looking for a car like this, should you just discard it, or should you at least go test drive it, see how it feels like? Once again, my answer is going to be test drive it, and you're going to be really blown away. Especially if you get a really good deal on one of these, you're going to be blown away with this car. I mean, what it's supposed to do, which is just carry your family around, it does it great. I'm not super keen on the looks. I don't necessarily think this is a handsome looking SUV. It has a lot of places I can work on, but you know, whatever loses on the aspect and like the appearance, it definitely gains on the practicality of it. So that has been all for this review. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, let me know in the comment section down below. Like always, I have another review coming up of a F450 Super Duty Dual. That should be up in around 2 weeks, because I did upload 2 videos all back to back pretty much. So that was coming up. But with all that said, thank you so much for watching. My name is Jonathan. You just watched a J-List POV review. Catch you on the next one.